We often wonder, bakit kaya parang mga maling tao yung dumadating sa buhay ko? And we realize kasi we are not showing the real us. We keep showing them a version of us na hindi naman talaga tayo. Imagine if you stopped pretending, who would stay and who will walk away? That is what we are going to talk about in today's episode of Detox with Me, where we are going to discuss how do we attract the right people by being our authentic self. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Detox with Me. And we are on to episode 2. And today we are going to talk about attracting the right people by being our authentic self. And if you tune in to our first episode, you will remember that we talked about how staying does not always mean we are strong and leaving does not mean we are weak. And in a way, today's topic connects perfectly. It's somehow related to each other because sometimes, in order to find the right people, we have to let go of the wrong people. And I want to start with something simple but powerful. Sabi nila, authenticity is like a natural filter. And when we show our true selves, it will make you see sino ang mananatili at sino ang mawawala. And when we show up as exactly as who we are, so papakita natin or i-express natin kung sino ba talaga tayo. Like, we're able to show our flaws, our quirks, our anything na parang off, because everybody has that, and even our own values. We will make it clear who's really for you. And yes, that means people or some people will walk away. But most of the time, that is not rejection. It's actually a clarity for us to see kung sino pa talaga yung right people for us. Because the right people for us, no matter what we show or no matter what we do, most of the time they will accept us for who we are. And when we show up, kung sino ba talaga tayo, kung sino ba talaga yung totoong tayo, we will attract the people who are of the same value, who have the same attitude, who have the same, behavior. And you will just find it easy na makisama sa kanila o to be friends with them or to be with them. And I'm sure you have experience wherein you are in a group of people and you really want to fit into their world or environment. But for some reason, alam mo sa sarili mo na what you are showing ay hindi naman talaga ikaw yon. Parang you feel like you have to change or tweak something in the way you act or talk just for you to be liked or for you to be accepted in that group of people. And kapag uuwi ka na sa bahay, after that, bonding or after mo makasama sila, you will feel this heaviness inside you na you know that something is wrong, na parang hindi ko ma-express mabuti yung sarili ko. Or worse, you feel like you just wasted your time because you didn't really or you were not really able to express who you really are. But let me add this on top of being our authentic self. Being authentic does not mean we are ignoring growth. So if we also notice people are distancing themselves, it's also worth asking, meron ba talagang mismatch in terms of values or attitude, or are there behaviors and attitudes that I need to improve or to get better at? Kasi aside from, syempre, we have this, hindi kailangan they accept me for who I am. But of course, especially if we are getting older, there should be changes, changes for our our better version. Hindi pwede na we stay as who we are. Kung sino tayo a few years back. Of course, there would be changes, there would be character development. So, from time to time, meron talaga tayong kailangan improve. We all know how contagious yung pagiging negative, just as how contagious yung pagiging positive. So, meaning, kung sino yung mga sinasamahan natin, yun yung mga madalas lumalabas sa ugali natin. So, we are really aiming to be that good influence to other people, just as much we want to be surrounded with great people. And it is important that we also have self-awareness. I also ask myself that while being careful, because as an overthinker, I tend to overthink. Hala, may nasabi ba ako mali o hindi ba nila ako gusto? But if you can see naman that you are surrounded with the right people and the others are just extras and hindi naman talaga sila relevant sa buhay mo, maybe you're doing great. It's just that kapag siguro nagsisimula na even the people that you care about are already pointing out na maybe you should improve this kind of attitude, and then you also notice na the other people are also distancing themselves from you. Maybe there's something that we need to work on. Siguro sa simula, we are okay with pretending na we are okay with that group of people, na it is okay to bond with them. But you will realize that over time, it gets draining because you know na hindi talaga kayo match, and you are just forcing yourself to be in that kind of group. The cost of pretending could be you will feel this drained energy and you don't have any peace of mind because you are just there for the sake of having many friends. And we all know as you get older, we value the quality of our peers rather than the quantity. So I believe we have accepted the fact that as we grow older, paunti rin ng paunti yung mga kaibigan natin. But we realize na mas nakikita natin kung sino talaga yung tunay, kung sino yung makakatulong talaga sa atin for our growth. And if you're losing friends, it does not mean that there are bad people or you are a bad person. It just means that you are growing separately and you are exploring your own worlds. Kasi hindi naman tayo pare-parehas ng mga goals in life, di ba? May mga magbabago talaga in terms of how we are to each other. And if we realize that the connection was never real in the first place, we will lose them eventually, and that is okay. Kasi at least we'll be able to save our time, our energy, our efforts na binibigay natin dun sa relationship na yon. And when we lose people, we are also making space for better relationships that will come along the way and for relationships that feel natural. Yun naman yung gusto natin, the natural relationship or friendship that we are gonna have na hindi mo mararamdaman na forced lang or you are there for the sake of just having friends. I mean, at this age, parang I'd rather be alone in a place rather than being in a group of people that I know do not match my energy and my values. Mararamdaman naman natin yun na hindi swak yung ating vibe na tinatawag. Mararamdaman natin yun. And you don't have to really try your hard na to really fit into that kind of group. If you know to yourself that that's not my or those are not my people. And we are not meant to be everyone's cup of tea. I've learned that because growing up, I always wonder, bakit ako unlikable? Hindi ko alam kung nakaramdam din kayo nun na you feel like people do not like you. Na hindi ka talaga, to yourself, you are not a people person or hindi ka first choice. Alam mo yon na parang sige kung walang choice, ikaw ang pipiliin. Pero if there was an option, you are not the option. And I've come, nakakasad, ala. Teka lang. But you know what? Along the way, I found the same people who are experiencing the same way. And naging ninang ko pa siya sa kasal na parehas pala kami ng nararamdaman na hindi namin ma-share yon sa ibang tao. Kasi akala namin sadyang masama lang talaga yung ugali namin. Pero yun pala, it's a normal feeling and ang dami kong na-discover na marami rin palang nakakaranas na feeling nila hindi sila gusto ng mga tao. Even though you can see how friendly they are, pero deep inside, yun pala yung nararamdaman nila. And as I said, I learned that we are not meant to be everyone's cup of tea. And ganun talaga kasi meron talaga mga taong hindi tayo magiging feel or hindi nila gusto yung mga gusto natin na ginagawa. That's why if you are just pretending to be someone that you are not, then you are going to attract the wrong people. Like me, I realized that it is okay to be vulnerable because by that, when I admitted that I feel like people don't like me, I found the right people that I am friends until now. And even though we are not talking every day, alam mong nandyan lang sila at nandito rin ako para sa kanila. So it's just that we naturally keep close the right people and you are just there for each other kapag kailangan. So, yeah, so natanggap ko na rin na hindi lahat ng tao ay magiging feel ako. And that's okay because if we try to be liked by everybody, then that's gonna be the end of our peace of mind. Kasi lagi tayong nagpapanik. Kailangan ganito yung gagawin ko, kailangan ganito yung sasabihin ko lagi para hindi ako magkamali o para hindi maging pangit yung tingin nila sa akin. But I admit, I still have those feelings, but I must say na mas na-handle ko na siya better than before na talagang naaligaga ako na or hindi ako makatulog na kasi baka may nasabi akong hindi maganda. Bakit kaya hindi niya ako kinakausap? Bakit kaya parang nag-iba na siya sa akin? And then I realized, well, that's okay because at least you now know who are your people, 'di ba? If we keep the wrong people close to us, it will actually stunt or slow down our growth. Kasi when we are with the wrong people, nauubos yung natin, di ba? Yung energy na dapat sana ibigay na lang natin sa mga tamang tao o sa mga tamang gawain na kailangan natin gawin. So it will actually slow down our growth and maybe eventually we will realize na pagod na lang tayo, so we stop, and that's when we realize na okay, time to stay away na. So I guess when we realize this early on, it's just saving us time to actually spend our precious time to the right people. And don't worry because letting go is not being about cold or alam mo yung wala ka ng puso. It's just we are making room for the people that we are meant to be with. So, paano nga ba natin ma-attract yung mga right people naturally? Kasi sabi nga natin, good relationships are not forced. They just happen naturally na out of nowhere, bigla na lang may mag-a-appear sa'yo na siguro at first nakikiramdam ka pa pero na-realize mo na, ay, ito yung kaibigan o tao na para sa akin na 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 fit kumbaga sa personality ko. Even though you have different attitudes, pero somehow nagfi-fit pa rin na hindi mo siya ma-explain eh. Basta wala siyang walang puwersa, walang anything na nangyayari. But it just happens naturally. The right people are not found by hunting them down. They just show up when we are living our truth, meaning when we are being our authentic self. But living our truth does not mean that we stay stagnant. So if we notice patterns like conflicts, misunderstandings, or people already pulling away from us, it's also worth reflecting on whether we are respectful, we are kind, and open to them. And syempre kasi we feel comfortable na kasi 'di ba kapag kasama na natin yung mga tinuturing nating mga kaibigan. Pero syempre there still should be respect na binibigay natin at nararamdaman nila na coming from us. It does not mean na we are close. We already have the right to be disrespectful towards them. And that's also a reminder for me na to be careful then with my words. Kasi I admit I can be too comfortable sometimes na yung mga nabibitawan na salita is, alam mo yun, na possible na maka-hurt sa iba. And ang mga tao, may iba't ibang mga level of sensitivity. Like, I could say these words to one friend, but I could not express the same thing to my other friend. Kasi iba't iba nga tayo ng sensitivity. So, yeah, it's just being careful with how we speak and how we are with our friends. The point of this conversation is we will eventually lose people along the way, especially when we already discover who we really are, and especially if we are chasing growth. Talagang hindi lahat ng mga kasama natin ngayon makakasama natin until the end. Meron nga sinasabi na there are people who are just in your life for a lifetime, for a season, and for a reason. So there are people who are meant to stay with you all throughout your journey, especially when your values, your goals are aligned to each other. Lalong-lalo na kapag, alam mo yon, you are all aiming for growth and self-development. But there are also people who are just there for a season. Meaning, sa season mo lang ng life na yan, mo sila makakasama. And when they have done their purpose, when we have learned lessons from them, then it will also be time to move forward. And yun nga lang, hindi na sila kasama sa buhay natin. And that's the reality. Hindi lahat makakasama natin until the end. And of course, for a reason. Everybody who has been in our lives, everybody na nakasama natin along the way, it could be they are from the past, they are currently with us, and they will be also with us in the future. They are there for reasons, for many reasons. Alam naman natin na we can't really live independently. Like literally, we need people, we need the right people na makakasama natin along the way who will help us sa, alam mo yun, na nakakalokang, not nakakaloka, na nakakalito nakakapagod na mundo. Syempre nakakapagod na yung mga nangyari sa paligid natin. Are we still going to spend our time with the wrong people, or we are going to spend our time with the right people who will help us go through this journey together? The moment that you drop the act, yung hindi mo na kailangan magkunwari kung sino ka ba talaga. Aside from finding the right people, you will also find your true self. And that's when everything will get better. Na finally, I don't have to pretend to be someone that I am not. Utang na loob din natin sa sarili natin yon to do things for ourselves and not only for other people. And the moment that we start living for ourselves, doon na mas gumagaan yung pakiramdam natin, because we know to ourselves that we don't need to impress. We don't need to impress anyone. And we will just spend our time and energy to the right people. So, I just want to say thank you so much sa mga taong nakakasama ko pa ngayon at makakasama ko pa in the future. And I just want to say that I am grateful for all the lessons that I've learned from all of you, even though we are not talking anymore, or we haven't talked in a while, or we are not talking because life has been busy. For whatever reason, I am grateful for you, because I know that you have played a big part in shaping who I am, and in for me to find out who I really am and what I really want in life. If you missed episode 1, go check it out. It ties perfectly into today's conversation. And if this episode made you think of someone who needs to hear it, you may share it with them, especially if this has been helpful for you. Until the next episode, I'm going to see you again next Friday for another episode of Dytalks with Me podcast.